quarters, a little piece, a small piece, a quarter, 3/4. You just have my heart calling me surgeon. Right away. If you want it, no start the operation. But don't try to play you want. Say you want right now if you want some action. You want some action. I wanna give you the world just baby. Nothing could be too much for you. You hear that? They all your bills like to do that for you.
WEFM, the only fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Little boy. Oh, we look good.
All righty, and the time on SVG, it is 9:25, and that means it's our Talk to Us open forum. And as we see somebody calling there, all right, so. Open forum. Queen's morning again.
Morning, last Friday, when the Bramble thing come up, you said, don't make us think we're stupid. When everybody have a collective memory and somebody says something else. You remember saying that, right?
What's to that effect,
Right, so I want to go back to something you said. And you might say you don't remember you said it. Do you remember saying that there were only one allegation against the former Prime Minister? Do you remember you telling me that? You only know of one allegation against the former Prime Minister?
Quite possibly.
You see? Yeah, good. You don't say yes or no. It's possible. But you can't say yes or no, right?
Where are you going with this, Queen? Say what you have to say, and then I would respond after.
So, when you said at the time you only had one allegation against the former Prime Minister, it went over my head. I didn't challenge it. But you couldn't be telling the truth when you said that. Because saying that would mean you never heard about Margaret Parson, the allegation that Margaret Parson lady in Canada made against him, or when he was confronted at the town hall meeting in Brooklyn in 2016 by Lady Miranda. And you come on the air and say you only had one allegation against the former Prime Minister. So
you are trying to challenge what I know, what I consider that I know.
You don't know. You don't know that there were more than one allegation.
I actually don't
come on the air.
Queens, are you
don't remember?
You're trying to debate me on something that I know?
So you tell me you don't know. You are in the media.
So Queen, so all you can do is say, Roleza, do you jog your memory to the situation in Canada? Now you're bringing this back up. So I'm actually going to admit that I had forgotten about that. I only remember the local incident.
Of course you remember. Because
Queens, you have the platform. Go right ahead.
You try to deflect. When anything come up at the former Prime Minister, you try to deflect the situation. If Mr. Grand Rising says something, if he bring up 4 topics and mention Michelle Andrews in one of them, you will talk about the other 3 and skip that one. When Dave Roberts say, okay, if the former Prime Minister committed a crime, was convicted of crime, will you see that he goes to jail? Oh, I would like to see I would have to blame the public servant. You always try to deflect the situation away from them. Even when Anita called in and says, I'm going to give him a ticket to come to St. Vincent. And I called and I said, why? How come she and buy a ticket for the former Prime Minister to go to Canada? Because he hadn't gone to Canada in a long time. Oh, but she didn't ask. Well, she didn't ask about him. She asked about you. So you all try to deflect the situation away from the former Prime Minister. I could see that you have some kind of ULP bias. I could see it from listening to you. I could see it. And that's okay. But don't pretend like you're not, you're neutral in the middle. Don't pretend like that. That's what I got to say today. Bye.
All right. So I did tell Queens he had the floor, and I'm done with it.
Let's take another call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I have to laugh at this one here. This is the second time you're accusing people to know what they're not supposed to know.
No, if he wants to say something, then say it, but don't ask me what it is I know. Question me, and then when I don't respond in the way that he wants me to respond, you get upset. That is what it is I can't take.
It's the same thing you do, Sister Ryan, the other way. You call Sister Ryan and tell Sister Ryan, you know that Sister Ryan know. It's like, how could you tell me I'm supposed to know something that I don't know?
I don't even know what he's talking about with this situation in New York. I have no clue about what he's talking about. So Queens came in hot and heavy this morning. He had a point to make. I'll let him have the floor. But I'm not going back and forth with Queens on anything. I'm sorry.
But Relisha, if I know something, I could ask you if you know about it. But I can't demand that you know it.
And that is the way in which you're supposed to approach a conversation.
He's telling you that you know it, but you don't know. Is everything that you know in your head that Queens know? Or everything that Queens know you're telling you know? But I don't know what you do. I will assume that you're supposed to know things. It might have been in the market. Facebook market might have been that doesn't mean you read it. People think that everything go on Facebook that everybody reads it up. A lot of things go on Facebook that is missed. I'm sure you just miss things on Facebook too, really.
Yeah, because I'm not even on Facebook as actively as I probably should be. But I have time to do other things.
But you walk on a radio station, I'm sure there's news that will be on your radio station that you don't hear. News that you can't hear. I know why people always assume that you're supposed to know what they know.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I am not going down that road with Queens. I'm done with it.
When you do those things, you keep doing people that, and people keep giving them breaks. People need to cut them off.
No, well, you see, one of the reasons why I didn't cut him is because he is showing his colors, and I don't have to go down the road with him. So that's why I said I'm not going to engage in that. Mm-hmm.
Cut him off. Just let him talk to himself from now on.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurt me when he started telling me that you know. How you know that you know? Even if it's your husband, he can't know that you know that unless he tell you.
And I think what people also need to remember too is that the things that some of us would hold on to, everybody else is not going to hold on to the same thing. He would hold on to certain things in his memory bank because he has a political affiliation or a particular vengeance towards whoever. I am not going to hold on to the same thing in my memory bank. And that happens, and that is just history in general, because there are things from history that some of us would hold on to while others completely forget. So there isn't any necessary reason for me to remember all of these things.
A lot of people walk around with a lot of unuseful information and good information they throw. A lot of people walk around with unuseful information. The whole brain full of unuseful information. Ask them something for something that's beneficial to humankind, they don't know nothing about that. But they know who wait for, and they know who do this, and they know who do that. I just have to come out and because I don't like how you treat it. I don't like how you treat it.
But Queen's showing his colors, so that's why I'm saying I'm not going down the road with him.
Yeah.
All right, Kojo. All right, let's take another call. Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning to everybody in the studio. Roleza, I could never really take a job on like that, eh?
Some days I wonder about it myself. So yeah.
All right. Here we're going on. Dr. Fraser's, is that book is the one Mr. Thompson was thinking about?
Yeah, but so in this case it's three authors. It's Dr. Fraser, Dr. Denny, and Dr. Scott.
All right, well, congratulations and respect to them. But let me tell you, all right, when we published our book in 2013, right, do you know how many times we went to the tourism department to try to get them to endorse it? Nothing. So I would like to tell these men our little history with this book here. You see that book? That is the book that helped to decriminalize marijuana in the state of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because they had to use that book. And I would hope, Mr. Thompson, when you're ready to launch your book on marijuana, we could get together and have a conversation, because I have all the material here.
Sure,
and all the material is inside the book. By the way, Mr. Thompson, I'm calling from RAF Fairford. I'm watching airplanes right now.
Yeah. But Parsons, I'm going to dedicate a chapter to you.
Well, then now we're talking. So then I'll come over by your house for dinner. We can have a discussion.
Parsons, listen. I think that actually, maybe after years of activism and so forth, a lot of failed attempts, it's the Ministry of Tourism and Culture that would have organized to contract those particular authors to write the book, And so, it's good that you had been pressing. They would have certainly seen the light, and that they finally got it was a long time coming, because to writing a book, doing the research, people having to travel to England and all that kind of thing to get into. There's a lot of information.
But you want me to tell you something?
One second. Let me say something.
Yeah,
writing a book is not just your views. You have to have the evidence, the research to show what you're saying is the case. Because a lot of people would take shortcuts and write certain things. So I'm familiar with the book you're referring to. I would have seen it and so forth. But I think
I've got my own book as well too. I've got the one where I found the rocket in the Tobago Keys.
Yes,
and I can tell you honestly today, I'm not going to tell you how much money that I made on the book, but Mr. Thompson, I don't study the money. I'm saying hopefully when I get 65 like you, when I grow up and I'm like you.
But
so you're confirming that 65?
Parsons, hold a second. Parsons, I know your age. You're not too far off. I mean, Parsons was an understudy. He used to work with my dad and so forth, real estate, and do a lot of things for him and so forth. But listen, I think, don't worry, I have documents and so forth. I know your age. Is that?
Right, I know that.
Yes.
I know that, but I ain't reached 60 though. I have 60.
That's all right. That's okay. There's nothing wrong. We don't discriminate here. That all persons over 60 are a certain way, and people under 60 a certain way, and those under 10 a certain way. No, man, no. We're all Vincentians. We're all Vincentians.
But you what's going on?
Yeah.
You have my unconditional help, because I've just passed through the Greens, and I put up a book for a man who was the former manager of Cable and Wireless in Grenada. And surprising to me, he has there's Grenadians who buy a book on Amazon, but they don't have it on the Kindle. So I am blessed with the skill to understand Kindle for all these years, because the Kindle, as you know, goes to your phone, your laptop, anything digital Kindle goes to.
Okay.
So you can give me the contract to turn your book into Kindle.
Oh, I see. Well, listen, we're gonna you negotiate, but we'll talk, and I still invite you when you call in. Hit me hard, hit me a couple of times. I don't mind.
No, man, I ain't gonna do that to you, man. You deserve it, because you stand up for all the years, I will only trouble you, but I won't interfere with you. Take care of yourself. Everybody have a nice blessing. Okay, take care.
All right, have a good one, Parsons.
Roleza, you mentioned about persons, it's a situation with Queens talk about in Trinidad, a person's going to wards and so forth. They should write down the name. I wonder if people agree with that.
You mean if they move from one stage to another? I mean, the thing of it is we never know how something could work until we try it.
Yeah.
And I think because
giving the name when you enter the gate at the hospital.
No, you know something. When you have like security cameras, right? They don't always just have those at the gate. They may have, I've seen hospitals where they have them on the ward. In hotels, they have every single floor, they have cameras at each end. There are people monitoring these things in case somebody tries to break into somebody else's room and so forth. We're now capturing a lot of these things so that the digital video is probably just as good as paying somebody. The cost of sitting down there to take down your name is probably because they don't have the camera systems in place to look at these things. And somebody looking at the camera at 15 screens.
And that's the next thing. Are persons actively looking at the cameras? Because you can have cameras in place, but somebody's not actively looking at them.
The important thing too is it's recorded, so that even though the person misses the situation, there's live, and something happens, you could go back and then see who it is. It's good to see somebody, but then your response, if somebody's with a gun and they're gonna go and shoot somebody, seeing them on camera about to go into a room, whether they have a mask on or not, you can see they will still be able to commit that particular crime and get out of the room before you could rush up the stairs because there's a crime in progress.
Yeah, but if it's active, but if the cameras are actively being viewed at that time, right? So let's say, yes, they might let off the shot and they're looking to flee. You can be able to secure the compound to cause them to not exit.
Exactly.
So having somebody, there's a thing with security cameras that I always say, it's good for when you have to go back. But if you have somebody who is actually looking, you can help to not go down the necessarily investigative road of having to go and do all the work after the fact.
But that's the point. That's the point. Hiring 7 security persons at a library that today may not necessarily be making a ton of money to pay for those particular things. When you multiply that by so half the society would be employed as security. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd have to wait against whether or not it's an expense that you can take on.
No, but that's the point. That's the point.
Places,
it's usually not going to be the case.
Yeah.
The dance ain't going to pay for the light.
So we don't have cameras at the hospital?
Our hospital here? I think you might have cameras outside, but I don't think we have cameras.
On the wards?
No, you have cameras.
Just the corridors.
No, you don't have cameras. Not that I know of. Let me correct.
That's the thing. I'm not sure either.
I don't think you do.
All right. So this is the Talk to Us segment. The phone lines are open. The number to call is 457-9997 if you want to get in on our discussion. You have about 3 more minutes to do so. All right. All right. I don't know. Nothing coming to the top of my head right about now. So, yeah.
No, gosh, my mind is always on what's going on globally, how it impacts on us. And it's really sad what I see coming up.
Doc, we have a call on the line. Let's say this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Miss Samuels, how are you? Don't let nobody get to you, man. Don't let nobody ruffle your feathers.
After a while, you just... I know what... Okay, so let me tell listeners one thing, right? I recognize that there are going to be times when we're not going to agree on things, and I am totally fine with that. But I am not going to take on the opinions of everybody, right? And that's what it is. When I leave here, that's it. Not everybody's opinion I'm going to take on. So Queens had the floor. He wanted the floor this morning. He got the floor, and that's it.
Yeah, no, it was a psychological attempt to sell. It's a psychological trap.
But it's not working. It's not going to work. So yeah.
Go, Mr. Horn. Please go on.
Yeah. But Gonzalez also had an issue with our mothers in Barbados too. But that's 20th history. We don't need to come up with that. We don't need to. What's the purpose of he bringing them things to light? It ain't making no sense. What's the point trying to prove that? You can tell me.
And you see, I guess in a case like this, I should know about that issue between Gonzalez and Tom Adams, and I have no idea what that is about. So yeah.
All right then. So I'm Gonzalez leave Barbados because of that. But anyway, last night in Barbados, I had 6 people got shot, 1 died. Nobody knows what's happening to the others. 5. The other 5.
Yeah.
And I believe I might sound a bit radical, and if I sound radical, it's because I am radical. I believe that the courts, the high courts in the Caribbean, in the countries of the Caribbean, have all the answers to the crime. Like, for example, how can you go in an ambulance? And this happened in Barbados. How can you go in an ambulance 3 o'clock in the evening? The ambulance attendants are there. People outside the ambulance looking in. And a man running the ambulance and tell the ambulance attendants, get out of here. This ain't got nothing to do with it. And shoot the man laying down on the gurney in the ambulance till he dead right by his spot. How tell me what man, he shouldn't be hanged.
Yeah.
Contract. So I'm saying, pardon?
Contract, we see television movies all the time. And we see these stars and so forth. What was it? Whether it's a Mission Impossible or whether it is
a gangster movie.
No. One of these. What's his name again?
Denzel Washington.
No, Denzel. But they are paid and contracted by an agency. Look at it in Israel. There are people geared to pop off leaders. You understand? Whether you stick him with a poison pen or you send him a present of a cell phone, and when you use a cell phone, it explodes in his head. There is a tremendous amount of contracted killing. And sadly, in the Caribbean today, you can pay somebody 500 EC to pop off Mr. Horn or to pop off Roleza or Maka. You understand? And they want their 500, so that's their job, they feel. And they're going to do that. Even though they're hoping that the cameras and so forth won't see them. Did they catch the individual, Mr. Horn?
But Doc, he killed the man right in the ambulance on the gurney and he ran away. The police can't hold the man right there. If he did it in front of everybody, you're going to tell me that a man, he should not be hanged? So that's why I say that.
He wanted, but then it sounds like he probably wanted to be caught.
So that person must have done something to him that he felt that, well,
his brother. The man that died, you say in the fear the man that killed him, brother.
Yeah.
Right? And I fear him all the time. But the point I'm trying to make, Doc, is that the courts of the Caribbean have all the answers to the crime. Because you can't tell me that you could sentence a man to hang and you give a man 20 years in jail when he really and truly should be hanged.
But you see, it sounds like from what you're saying, it sounds like that person was prepared for come what may. They just meant to avenge this killing, and come what may, they were just going to deal with the consequences. Because if the police caught him right there, he wasn't trying to get away.
No. And another time a man was
and you see, and Mr. Horn, in the context of this as well, you see why it is that it's so difficult for the police and the leaders to try to solve crime, or even not solve crime, but to curb crime. Because if a man has his heart set out to do something, he's going to do it and just deal with the consequences after. So while the homicide numbers are going to go up, then how can police actively control that if persons are going to do what they want to do in any event?
Mr. Horn, how many murders? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The point I'm making, right? Mm-hmm. The point I'm making is that if you are prepared to do such a thing, then you should be prepared to do should be prepared for the punishment. But it is not that. The point I am making is that once you do it, you should be hanged. In front of all the people, you should be hanged. I know a man was running down a road and a fella behind him with a gun. The fella fell and the man with the gun went right over him and shot him about 6 times. You can tell me a fella, he shouldn't be hanged too.
But Mr. Horn, it comes back the same way. Okay, even let's say hanging is reinstated, the person might have already made up their mind to be hung. Yes. So even if they are hung, is it necessarily going to be a deterrent for the next person who is going to do what they want and just deal with the consequences?
Or Mr. Horn, psychologically, that person may also have a case for temporary insanity. in the sense that they were so aggrieved, they were so hurt that they didn't know themselves for that period of time, that they just couldn't control, they couldn't imagine it and so forth, or what was done to them and their relatives. So that's why they did it. There'll be people who would sympathize with that. So that yeah.
Roleza,
yes, I'm listening.
I want to tell you that to hang somebody, it should not be seen as a deterrent. It should be seen, and I think I told you this before, it should be seen as a punishment, but can also work as a deterrent. But punishment first. I think I've told you that before, and you agree with me.
You know, Mr. Horn, I would tell you that
sir.
in certain countries, I won't specify, just 50, 60 years ago, you seeps at a white woman, and they would hang you. You know, they wouldn't necessarily be the court. They would see you.
Or even looking sometimes in the direction of a white woman.
You'll be hanged. And there'll be people who say, of course, imagine you as a black person go to a white man. Of course you should be hanged. In other words, society may have different views. If a woman in certain other countries is seen potentially to be in an adulterous affair or something like that, they would stone her to death. You understand? They would stone her to death. You know, there are societies in which to control, I gotta say this, if I could say this, they would do clitoridectomy and so forth, so as to make sure she is not going to be so inclined.
I didn't even know there was such a word, but anyhow, okay.
But what it mean? What that word mean, Doc?
It's female circumcision.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I learned something more from WEFM today.
Okay.
I didn't know the word. I didn't know that word that Doc called existed. I just knew the other term. All right. So we learned something today.
I learned a lot from Doc, you know. And one of the people that I learned a lot from at WEFM was Donnie Collins.
Okay, good.
Donnie Collins used to have a thing. I like Maka to start if he can. We'll get word of the day. And one day Donnie Collins said, Mr. Horn, I know you like to play with words. So this one is for you that you could use. And the word was Morosoph. 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 It means an educated dance. And I used that on two politicians that got angry with me.
All right. All right, Mr. Horn.
You guys have a great day. We will listen. I'll listen tomorrow again as usual.
Not a problem. Have a good one, Mr. Horn. Okay. All righty. So that concludes our talk to us today. It was an open forum. All right. So we are going to head directly into today's community dateline.
Nothing else sounds as good as WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.